Hello, Ophiuchus, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to your extended. So, I was just, I was on a walk last night and I was pondering Ophiuchus and thinking about how, the zodiac representing all of the other elements, um, like, earth, water, fire, air. And then Ophiuchus, to me, at least in the development of this channel, has signified that Ophiuchus is like the fifth element, the element of spirit. So I often I feel like whenever I do Ophiuchus's readings, I'm actually doing like a reading for a spirit. Like this, if hopefully that makes sense. Like it's almost like they don't actually this like Ophiuchus's reading isn't necessarily for anybody that is physically embodied. It's like this is a reading for some energy that is like beyond the veil that would us, right, as cross watchers, if you will, would at least give us some type of perspective. It would give us spirit's perspective, right? So I feel as though Ophiuchus, you, I mean, maybe you're embodied. Maybe we do have, like you depicted here as the embody. So perhaps maybe you are coming through a body, but it seems like you're more in spirit, more spirit form. That could actually be like a person who is embodied, but it's like they're they're all spirit. Like you can sense that they're all spirit. Um, or it's like you could be like how I was talking before, like an actual spirit guide. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is it's almost like this is the information for the cross watchers who are um, a little unsure or hesitant about their approach into the life, into your life. Okay. I was like, wait a second. No, actually, you are embodied because you're coming up as this one. I don't know. That's just what I was feeling. So we're starting off the reading with the Six of Cups. And this is coming up as like you and your like quest buddy. You and your quest buddy. And you're like following this trail. The trail, right? The spiritual path. You're following this trail and okay, because I'm seeing them like receding into the background. So this is like the beginning. This is the beginning of the trail. And then you guys have followed your steps all the way back. Do you see like back further into the card? Uh and what it's talking about here, you see that spilled cup down there? There's something about that spilled cup. And I think it has something to do with the next card that's in your reading. It's presented as the Chariot. And it looks to me like that cup that has been spilled is like filling this this landscape up down here. So it's like as you're walking down your trail, it's like you're filling the landscape with this, like it's like a flooding or something, but it's it's coming through as like leaving behind actually like toxic waste. So this in the chariot, this the horse here, it's like a carousel horse. And it's all broken, it's like broken down, some pieces are missing. There is a rider of that horse. It's making me think of like, I mean, it's like magic in a toxic wasteland. That's what it looks like to me. It's it's very magical, but there's like an underlining like toxic waste. Well, I I feel like that's what you're leaving behind. That's what as you two go on this journey, like that whatever is in those cups, like that toxic waste is being, well, it's spilling out. It's being left behind. It's it's not coming with you on that on this well, on this magical journey of yours with the chariot energy. What's fascinating is that this carousel horse is stationary. In the chariot energy is one that is movement. It's fast movement, actually. But this carousel isn't moving at all. Actually, it's not even on a carousel track. So it's talking about stepping onto this new path is taking you off of like some type of cycle, like, well, taking you off of a toxic cycle, toxic wasteland, like you're leaving that behind. Not only that, but you're leaving the actual cycle behind. Because this carousel isn't going around and around and around anymore. It's now in a new place and it's stationary. So that kind of gives me an idea of stability, but still also incorporating all of this wonderful, like, uh, fantasy daydream, magical thoughts, like the beauty of life in all of its kind of undesirable moments, like this like toxic wasteland. Like even in the toxic wasteland you can still have really wonderful, like beautiful moments. So okay, so it's almost like this is what both of you, because it's coming with the 6 of cups, this is what it like both of you are looking back at, like right before you actually take that master key, put it in the door, open it up to this new path. It's like you are looking back because you see this, that her attention is looking back and kind of looking at that former cycle that you're in, and kind of and realizing that even in its toxicity there were some beautiful moments. And then it's like once this is looked over and gone through, then this 10 of Pentacles here shows up. Oh, just presented as a bridge. So and then the journey begins. So and then you go on that path, that spiritual path. And even though this is interesting because even though we have the chariot here, it feels like a slower moving process. Leading up to it, though, there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of gusto and energy that's leading up to it. But then once you're there, it's like, okay, one step at a time. That it's that type of uh, forward motion. You see what I'm saying? Like, so what I'm loving here, though, is that you're presented here on this bridge, which is talking about like the edge of where that path begins, and just underneath you, just underneath, perhaps maybe out of your sight, there's a blossoming that's happening because we have that lotus down there underneath the bridge, and the blossoming is occurring in this like toxic environment. It's almost like, how to explain this? Remember how I was talking about like even in toxic situations, there can be beautiful moments. Well, it's referring to like once that environment, that toxic environment, this like wasteland environment is left, that it's there's something else. Like as you get started on this journey, it's like there's something else that's going to blossom from this. It could even actually be like when you look back, wasn't this was in somebody else's reading. It's talking about them looking back. It's like you'll see how every single step that you took, that's what we were talking about here. You'll see how every single step that was taken has gotten you to this point. And I feel like that's what's blossoming. Like the blossoming of understanding that the previous thing, the previous cycle, the previous environment has led you to this point where you're going on a new quest. You're going on this brand new spiritual path. And it's like as you're sitting on the edge of that path, you're not yet seeing that that's what's it's almost like the previous experience was the fertilizer for this new experience, for this new blossoming, this new um, awakening, actually, especially with the flower, for this new awakening. So that's what, so as it's like as you move along this path, this is going to rise up and it's going to come into your awareness of how every single step that you've taken has gotten you to this point thus far. It's kind of like there's a little bit of um, a pause. There's a pause in between. It's like you were in a situation, kind of like looped back around. Because it's almost like I'm imagining like if someone's on a highway, right, and you're going down like and you miss the exit and having to like turn back around. Well, that's that other person having to turn back around and take that exit again. So there's a pause at the beginning of the exit. It's kind of like a space, like a space in between. Like a, you see, there's like a space in between where you've come off that cycle, yet you aren't actually within the new cycle yet. And I think that it has something to do with this key. It's like you do have the key. You have everything that you need to go ahead and start, but it's almost like you don't necessarily know what to do with the key. You don't know what to do with it until this other one shows up. It's kind of like their presence is needed in order for you to both go down this path. I want to say together, because it seems like you're joining, especially because at the bottom. Oh, okay, hang on. I'm looking at the bottom of the deck. Especially because we have this energy here. There's the Two of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles. You see, it's the two people joined together. That's funny because they're actually presented as harpies, which in the Scorpio reading was talking about mergers. So you're both merged with your like higher aspects, and you're both gonna go on this. That's interesting. It's like a shared path. You're already at the Ophiuchus is already at the entrance, still patiently waiting for the other one to either catch up or realize that they haven't taken the exit, and then they're gonna turn. It's like they're gonna turn back around, and then come back through, and then be there with you, so that you can both go on this path into the forest together. In which you're going to be receiving a bunch of new keys of understanding. All right, so we have you on this bridge in that pause moment, and you're looking at the eight of Pentacles. You're looking here at the Eight of Pentacles. So I think that this has something to do with where you're going, what's along the path, the upcoming path. The keys of understanding your upcoming path has something to do with this Eight of Pentacles. So that could actually be talking about your work, has something to do with your work. Since we have so much spiritual energy in this, I want to talk about this as like your spiritual work. And for the first time today, I usually see this Eight of Pentacles as like he's encased inside of this. It's like it's all like cementing his feet. Were we talking about encased? Wait, we were talking about this one. The feet being turned around. So, okay, maybe there is something about this encased. So the other, like, and they're turning around. It's like they're trying. See, they're they're hammering away at all of these like masks and stuff. They're trying to loosen the ties that they have so that they can join you. It's kind of talking about like getting out of other, not requirements, obligations. They are trying to get out of other obligations so that they can then be free to join you on this path. But then it's also, this Eight of Pentacles is also like what I was originally referring to was suddenly today he actually looks like he's not encased, like he's standing behind it, and this is like a new piece of work that he's like carving out of stone, right? It's like his newest oh, it's actually like a newest masterpiece. Wait a second, we were talking about the master key. That's funny because the master key is actually coming above the masterpiece. Okay. That's fascinating because it's like you have the key to understanding their masterpiece. Does that make sense? That's really beautiful. So that's what they're working on. They're working on getting out of the obligations that they're in currently. And they're also working on releasing themselves from any ties that they have so that they can work on this masterpiece. And when they meet you at the edge of this new path, it's like you have the key to understanding their work, the thing that they present to the world, their work, their masterpieces, that type of thing. And then we move into the Hermit. So we have the Eight of Pentacles moving into the Hermit, and this Hermit, this Hermit talks about the mechanics. So it's like you have the key to understanding the mechanics of their work. So that's telling me that yes, it's physically presented as some type of, I don't know, it could be tangible, it could be, whatever that may be, their work. There's something that is behind the scenes. There's something behind the scenes. Okay. My rain stick just went off, which is signifying to me that it's like a spirit team, spirit ensemble. Weren't we talking about how it's like their spirit team was contacting you so that you could see their approach, and then you're both here writing, you both have joined forces with your spiritual ensemble, and you both have also merged your energies with your higher aspects here. So that's what it's talking about. It's talking about how you can see the mechanics or the orchestration or the spiritual ensemble that they have surrounding them that fuels their work, it's really interesting because I am seeing you both going down this path together. But when I look at the work itself, the work feels very solo, especially with that hermit that's coming with it. So it's kind of like the work that you individually do. I'm looking at my cat. She's so beautiful right now. Sorry. All right. So the work that you do individually is like, well, it's individual. Both of you have your area. That's what we were talking about, focus. Both of you have your areas of focus. I can't remember where focus came up, but I do remember we were talking about focus. Both of you have your areas of focus, and it is individualized. However, it's like you're still also on the same path, of what? Of what? Define this path. I don't know. It's just like perhaps you're just walking together. I mean, this could literally just be like you two have joined. You two like are now in the same environment. You're walking together, even though you both respectively have your own individual like focuses and the work that you do. But what's key to this? What's key to this? What's key to this is that you understand what their work is. So it's really it's kind of like this Two of Cups here. It is just it's really nice to know that someone understands your work. It's just really nice to know that. And it's good that it's like, oh, okay, I'm not I'm not just doing this for nothing. Like someone actually out there does appreciate and understand my work. And they appreciate and understand your work because it is, although it is individualized for both of you, it's like you do the same thing, whatever that may be. You do the same thing. It's kind of like this. It's like, although you ride different birds, you're both riding birds. Does that make sense? So that's what this is. That's what this is referring to, and it's just like it's coming up as like I'm wondering. I'm like, why are we on this path? What's going on? All this stuff trying to like pinpoint all the like the purpose of all of this. And really, it's kind of just coming through as like it's just really nice and refreshing to have someone that's walking alongside of you that knows what your work entails and understands it like completely, like they get it, they really get it, and that's really nice to have um, that type of companionship. All right, Ophiuchus, thank you so much for allowing me to read your energies, and I will see you next time. Bye.